All right, hello everyone. Welcome to the live stream. We are going to fly the 20 Boston. Usually my favorite flight. I'm trying a new aircraft. And by the way, Phoenix has been out. Flown it only once yesterday. Today will be my second flight. Making any mistake? Let me check on my phone if my audio is coming in fine. Alright, let's jump into the flight deck. By the way, we are almost clipping the wing here on this fuel truck. That's GSX. I wish there was a way to remove GS. I mean, I can uninstall it, but I just want to have it installed but still not have on until I call them. Weird. Anyways, we are at, I think, Fly Tampa DC. Basically, it's an add-on airport. Looks really good. Okay, let's jump into the flight deck. Going to start from cold and dark today. We go and I already have the sim brief plan loaded in, by the way. We won't have to do any of that. Plan like, yeah, we are flying fake time, so it's fine. It's actually night here, but the stream to look better, otherwise really boring. Okay, it's a flight. I don't know if the jetway, I was trying to operate jetways on this airport but it won't work. I don't know if it's because GSX is installed and loaded. We are not flying on VATSIM today, but I was planning to add traffic. We loaded in all the settings, so we are pretty good on frames, I think. Hit our frame. Could slowly see the aircraft spawning in. Alright, anyways. I don't know if the jetway is going to operate. We'll assume that jetway is connected. Open the front door and balance. Plant fuel is going to be 1330. 127 passengers, 97,000 pounds of zero fuel. Just to get an idea of what we are dealing with, let's go to sim settings, make sure that we have all the callouts enabled because I love having callouts when I also want to make sure that Barrow control linked. I don't have to change on both the sides. And Copilot. Fine, massive. This wheel. Sure. Okay, before starting to load the airplane, let's go ahead and at least power it up so that the passengers are not low. Cold and dark airplane. Battery 1 on, wait for a few seconds, and 2. Put 27.2, 27.3 looks good. I think this should be above 25 and you're good. External power is available, so I'm going to go ahead and connect that. Now that we have external power connected, I'll start loading. I'm going to do a faster loading so that we can get out of here soon. At least we'll not be limited by that. So let's do a 7-minute fast time load. Loading has started. I'm not sure. Jetways. Going on with the jetways on this airport. It was connecting just fine on the default airport in India yesterday when I flew. Anyways, Okay, so our airplane is loading. I'll keep this screen on just so that we have an idea of how much it's loaded. Let's go ahead and start the overhead checks now. So you start from the bottom on the center lane, and then start from the bottom on the third lane. Oh, by the way, we should have checked whether our speed brakes and everything are down, flaps are out, trim and everything is zero. But wipers are off, stuff like that, before you power up the aircraft, because you don't want stuff to start operating as soon as it gets powered. But anyways, we'll assume it's a sim. We'll assume that all of that worked fine. Turning on crew supply. Else here, let's change ADR 1 to nav. Wait for the on bat. ADR 2 to nav. And ADR 3 to nav. Alright. Our IRS alignment has started, and it says that it will be done in 7 minutes. Our loading will also be done in 7 minutes, so that's good. I hope the stream is clean. At least it looks clean on my phone. Yeah, I think it's good enough. Alright. Let's start from the bottom on the panel. Need to adjust my zoom here. I can just top panel. Right. Probes can come to auto. Beacon, we'll leave it off for now. Nav and logos to 1. No smoking. Let's change that to auto. Seatbelt signs will come on after we have loaded. Emergency lights will go to the arm position. We don't need the dome lights. All of this is fine. Cabin pressure is on auto, so that's good as well. Our air conditioning panel is good. It shows fault right now because it doesn't have air from anywhere, so that is fine. External power on, all of that is fine. We'll turn on all the fuel pumps now. Go up. You won't be doing what actually? Yeah, let's skip the fire test and everything. We just get out of here. And on the third panel, everything should be fine as it is. There's no white lights on here, so there's nothing to deal with. Right. The next thing to do, set up our do that. First, I'm going to ATS. There you go. AOC menu, and let's go right in it. The requesting data. EA cars. All right. Let's request for weather as well. Actually, we can get weather from our from the EFB, but a more realistic way of doing it would have a company message weather data. There we go. 0609 knots. Our runway is going to be 01. You at 250. Altimeter is 3043. Okay, let's set our altimeter real quick. 30. Work if I press shift down here as well, because we have pilot and co-pilot linked. Bring this to life. Animation. Okay. Let's now clear all of the messages, data. start from init, git request, load everything that we have in our brief flight plan. And now let's go from the loading screen to the pilot brief page. Get our OFP in here. We'll need all of information. Alright, it is DAL764 is our flight number. AL4. Our cost index today is going to be 12. I was flying at 50 yesterday. Gave me a really our cruising altitude is going to be 370 right here. So 370, and it will already calculate the temperature at that altitude, which is minus 58. Let's also request the wind data while we are here. By the way, a big shout out to V1 simulations and 320 pilot. 320s or 320 pilot. These two channels have helped me a lot in catching up again on the Airbus. Because it's been a long time since I've flown. I used to fly the fly-by-wire A320, but it's been a long time since I've flown Airbus. I watched a lot of 320 sim pilot and V1 simulations content to get going here. Boarding is complete. It's great. I think fueling should have been completed as well. What else here? Tropo. I don't know where Tropo is on the plan, honestly. Used to be somewhere here. If we don't find it, I'm going to leave it default. Let's search for it real. I wish there was a search feature in here. Yeah, I don't see it. We'll just leave it to default Tropo value. I forgot honestly what it does. Let's check the ground temperatures, weather brief. Let's go back here. Here we go. Ground temperature is what am I forgetting at the ground? Isn't it? Should be temperature and dew point, right? I don't know if it's dipping here. I think it is fun. Yeah, it is fun. Right on. Ground temperature is 5 degrees right now. IRS just aligned. 1 minute more. Okay, so we'll go data init, and then we'll go flight plan and come back to diff srip is what I've been taught. Let's choose our departure. Our departure is going to be back to the OFP. Departure is key 5 departure from 0 1 and have a transition. We insert the Hotas, the range, set the path, go to rev the departure, Suki, and then Swan. There's no flight plan discontinuities. Okay, let's select the arrival now. Okay, boss, arrival. It's going to be a 27 Robook 3 AFK arrival. Okay. So ILS 27. Robook 3 right here. And the transition is going to be JFK. Reinsert. Let's make sure that it's not repeated our transition again, because we already had, remember, we already had JFK in our flight plan, so hopefully it did not, but it's good to make sure that it did. Lauren, JFK, Newies, and then I'm just looking for another JFK in case there is manual. Okay, so there's flight plan discontinuity, donor. Okay, so what I'm going to do is remove the manual point first here, then I'll remove the discontinuity. I think that should complete our path and recalculate all the VNAV stuff there. Let's make sure there's no ambers in the flight plan, because that will show whether the airplane can meet that constraint or not. If it's amber, then it cannot meet. Yeah, good, but it hasn't really calculated everything because we haven't filled stuff in, which is fine. So we've been through data, we've been through first page of init, we've been through flight plan, now it's radnav all tuned in. We don't need to do anything here. So diff rip, now we need to fill in the init page, but the second init page, that is this one. ZFW, we have it from here because all the loading already is loaded, passengers are loaded. 123.87 more. Always work with kgs on this one. 1, 2, 3. Actually, 8. Still super new to this airplane. Block fuel is going to be 13.130. It sounds really dumb. 13.4. Calculate everything for us, okay? And we need to put in our order. Give us an extra 0.6 when we arrive. Now we have been through diff, radnav, init again. Go to food prep, that should be filled up. Then we go to performance directly. Performance, have to go in and calculate our departure V-speed. Think the load sheet, think the live weather. I think guys off force toga. We are not doing force toga today. Actually, you know what? Let's do force toga because I have trouble locking my throttle to the flex position. Basically, I cannot lock my throttle to the flex position. And if I try really hard and adjust it, probably do that. Let's just go for max. So our V speeds are 121, 135, 135. 121, 130. 135. Flaps going to be 1, makes sense. 1 and then down 1. Trim is down. Anything else? Engine out, acceleration altitude 10, 20, 10, 20. That in as well. And okay. Off performance done. Climb performance will be based off of our cost index, which is 12, verified. That is good. Cruise performance will also be based on our cost index. I don't want to tease it, but okay, I think that is good. Performance page is done. Secondary flight plan, we'll just copy the active plan here. They're good there as well. We can go back to the flight plan page and check for ambers now, because now it knows the weight and the fuel and cost index and everything. It has calculated what speed and altitude we'll be at. I'm just looking for ambers in case there are any, because we won't be able to meet that particular restriction. Might want to just change it right now. By the way, we are not flying with ATC, so we'll be going with this flight plan. We won't be getting any instructions that would throw us off. I usually fly an airplane for at least 4 or 5 flights off VATSIM, just to get a hang of it, make sure I know where things are at, operate it in different modes, and then go to the VATSIM server. Don't want to annoy anyone online. Yeah, I think we are good. Ambers. Alright, let's set our speed will be managed, heading will be managed. Altitude can directly go to 37,000, which will be our cruising altitude. Because after we enable autopilot, the airplane is going to take care of all the constraints until it reaches 37,000, because we have a dot on V speed as well. That means VNav is controlling our vertical navigation. VNav is controlling our vertical navigation. Nice. Anyways. I think we are good to look at our before start checklist. I'm doing things really slow, I know. That's just me. Okay, let's go to what settings? No, let's go to our before. Cockpit prep is completed. Barrow ref 3043, that is done. ACARS initialized. Parking brake is set. Fuel on board we have checked, 13,000 something. Init B, what is this? Oh yeah, init B page, yes, we just filled in all the init B page. Flex temp, we are not doing a flex takeoff today. Takeoff speeds are set, we have calculated them. Passenger signs, I think I had no smoking, yeah, no smoking in auto. Seatbelt signs can come on now. That's why you have checklist. Beacon lights can come on. Transponder will go to auto and all doors are closed. So let's verify all doors are closed. I think I need to close one. It automatically closed it. Okay. Okay. Pilot brief. Beacons can come on now. We're about to put back in stuff. What else? Transponder. Transponder can go to auto. Transponder can go to auto. We'll change it to TARA once we push back. There's company message here. It might have sent me the final load sheet. Let's just go ahead and check that. Receive messages. Yep, there you go. Load sheet. I think we are good. This is, from what I remember, this is to make sure that our numbers match with what we have put in. So like in case some passengers don't show up, there's some changes to the weight and balance, eat here and match it up. But we'll accept this because we have no changes. Go back to flight plan here. Okay, before start checklist is complete, we should be ready to start our APUs and APUs, only one APU. Should be ready to start the APU and push back. Let's go ahead and start the APU. By the way, I don't know if beacon lights can come on. I've heard two things. Some people start beacon lights after the engines are started or right before the engines are started, and some people before sorry, I got distracted. Anyways, APU is starting up. It's neat how this bottom display changes according to your flight phase. Once it starts up, you'll see the voltage available and the frequency up here. That shows that it's fully started up, and now, yep, there you go, all green. So it is available to provide air and electricity basically. I think you will see the fault lights also go off once you have the APU bleed on. But since it's available, we'll let it warm up for a little bit. Meanwhile, all the doors are closed and the sides are armed. That's good. I don't know how to set the V speeds up here. Do you have to or do you just double click on it? I don't know. You don't have to manually do this, right? That'll be crazy. No, I'm going to ignore it. I don't think pilots usually set V speeds on this. We have it here. FD. Okay, I think that should be enough. We'll start APU bleed, and as soon as we start APU bleed, you'll see that the air conditioning system starts getting the air. So from what, yeah, there you go. So you should see the fault lights go off. The Gen 1 and Gen 2 fault lights are still on because these are engine power generators, right? So engine is still not on. Okay, both the fault lights are out. I think we can go ahead and turn off the APU now. Turn off the external power. I'll remove external power. I don't remember if we have to disconnect it from here as well. Let's just give it a quick check. Yeah, you have to. So once you have the external power turned off, you can disconnect GPU, ground services. You can also disconnect, you can take off the spokes and cones. They're good. Let's connect the tug here for our pushback. Go out and check real quick. We've been in the cockpit for too long. There's the southwest. By the way, I have autofocus on, and that's why you're seeing blurry background. Disabled it so that you can clearly see. So look, we are at the American base. Delta right there. Frontier right there. And the southwest. No one's really pushing back with us. There's 737 American. These models from FSLPL are amazing. Okay, we have our tug connected. I'm going to push back up to, let's say, this line. Not going to turn. Just turn it. Right. Turn part off. Start pushing back. Once we start pushing back, start. There you go. Okay, once we start pushing back, we'll start engine 2 first. The ignition switch goes to start, and then the engine starts with. Let's see. But let's watch it from the outside actually. Go 2 is cooling up. Sounds on this thing. I don't know what's coming through on screen. I did check on that one. Okay, that should be plenty of pushback. Stop it. If engine 1 is available, still not quite, because when it will be available, there you go. Engine 1 is now available. Let's start engine 2 now. Stop pushback. We'll set our parking brakes first, and then we'll disconnect the tug. Doing everything by the book. Imagine if my sim crashes now. Ruined. Back on my channel after like ages and sim crashes. Engine 2 is almost available. And it took a while to get us out. Okay, engine 2 is available. We can change the start switch to normal, and let's go through ground services page, make sure everything's good. Everything is good. Our aircraft is independent. Pilot brief. Let's go over the after start checklist. Ground equipment is removed. Anti-ice, we will not need it. 5 degrees, clean weather, there's no humidity. Flaps config. We are going to go flaps 1, so let's set flaps 1. APU is going to go off now. We can turn off APU bleed, and we can turn off the APU bleed goes off. Yellow electric pump, which is on the right top, and here, right. This one, that is off, which is good. How it should be. Trims. Trims. Let's see. I don't think I set the trim right. I think we were at down 0.2. I'm going to set that real quick. By the way, this is not how the checklist should be used. The checklist should be used after doing everything, just to verify that you have done everything. But I'm not okay. Cabin doors are good. Ecam status is fine right now. There's nothing that we need to be worried about. We'll change this to TARA now. We'll arm the ground spoilers. We will arm the auto brake to max. That's what we need for takeoff. We will turn on our taxi lights. By the way, after start checklist is complete. So I'm doing all of this as a part of before taxi. Pretty much ready for takeoff. We just need to check the takeoff config one more time once we get to the runway. Runway is on our left. Need to take a left turn, go straight up here, and this is where we'll be taking off from. It's an easy short taxi, well, not that short, but okay. I think we should be good to go. Runway turn off lights also I'll turn on. Wing lights. Give a quick check. It's good. No white lights. By the way, if anyone is getting anxiety while watching how slow I am, because I'm flying at only in time. Remember that before tapping your gums on me. Let's start moving. By the way, there's this one problem that I haven't fixed yet. My rudder doesn't work after I land, as in my tillers, whatever, doesn't work after I land. I probably won't be able to taxi to the gate, and we'll have to end the stream right after I land. Why did the passenger start? Weather radar is off. No point of having weather radar right now because msfs hasn't come up with a sim update that gives the developers a add the radar. Oops. Take the next turn. Cross the runway, assume that we've got clearance to cross this 04. I'm watching TCAS, by the way. You see there's one guy flying right in front of us at 1400. I know there's no one landing on 04 at least. Go from the back. I think we're on the right one. Okay, let's stop here real quick. Stop here and give everything a quick check because we'll just do a rolling takeoff. We won't stop on the runway. These lights can come on. These lights can go to takeoff position. We're doing a PAX on takeoff as we had set in the performance. Let's do the takeoff config check. Coming in normal. The radar can come on just to get rid of this. Lights on. Yeah, everything is good. I think we are good to go. Flight directors are on as well. Let's do a flight controls check. By the way, look how neat this is. So as soon as I move my flight controls, there you go. See that? Bottom display changes to flight controls, but it knows that we're trying to do the flight control. Okay, let's just line up and do a rolling takeoff. The trims again. See. We're going to go toga, by the way. Remember, there's no flex. Easy. I'll still have to struggle a little bit to set my thrust to climb thrust, because it has the same. It has no detent on climb, so I have to like manually get it to climb. Let's brake. 50%. 50 stable. Manual toga is armed, SRS runway verified, auto throttle is armed as well. Everything is good. One and rotate. Not the best takeoff at all. Positive rate. Gear up. As soon as the gear comes up, we will also disarm the speed brakes, and let's follow the flight directors here now. I missed it by a little bit. Throttle lever can come to climb. Oh, that was easy. Got locked on my let's enable autopilot and let's watch it from the outside. Flaps are up and go up now. Okay. Wait on the lights to turn off. About right now, that's why I'm silent, is that why is my the QNH blinking? The transition altitude is 18,000 feet. It shouldn't be telling me to change to standard just yet. Because it thinks I'm not on the right QNH or something. 3043. That is correct. Not sure. If anyone knows, down below. I don't know why it's blinking. I'll only change it at 18,000 because I know that our transition altitude is 18,000. I thought this waypoint name was COVID. Not COVID, it's Covio. Oh shit. I should have changed to the outside view sooner. Looks so good, look at that. If I would have done it sooner, we would have seen the White House and all of that somewhere here. Lock. Look at that chunk. Almost about to hit 10,000. I think after 10,000 I'll turn off seatbelt signs. Don't need it. It's really calm. 10,000, there you go. Seatbelt signs can come off. All the lights are off. I want to keep the wing lights on, nav lights on, beacons will stay on. Probes auto, runway turn off is off, and the landing lights are off. Okay. That should be it until we hit our cruising altitude. Now what? Just to make sure I'm not nuts, I'll go ahead and check the transition altitude. It has to be 18,000. Love how neat FENIX is. The systems on FENIX, you can directly sync everything through in brief, and it will all show up right away. Let me check if my volume is good. I think it is. Reduce the sim volume a little bit. Departure. Oh, not K-boss. 5. Yeah, transition altitude 18,000. There you go. What the heck? Why is it blinking? It's going to give me anxiety. Oh, I think I know why. Because this altimeter is not set to 30. Maybe that's why. Still not sure. That's actually the reason. They're both synced. Anyways, we are about to hit 18,000. We'll switch to standard. We could. My plan was to land in Boston when there is a little bit of light, but it looks like it's going to be pitch dark by the time we land. It's not a long flight. I hope there's still some nice sunset to watch while landing, but I don't think so because it's going down really fast. Okay, we are at 18,000. I'm going to switch to standard. This one's already at standard 1013. So I think we are good until cruise. Let's check Volanta real quick and make sure we have entered our destination here. Boston. So now it will at least know where we are going. BFR weather in Boston as well, 3042, so not much difference in pressure. 5 degrees versus 2 degrees Celsius in Boston, 310 at 8 knots. We are landing 27. So nothing eventful going on. Alternate. AFK is quite clean as well. Could have flown over the weekend. I think over the weekend everything was quite cloudy and eventful. So that's fine. We'll choose some location tomorrow, which is a little more exciting. Going to take a while to reach B70. Let's see how much cruise we have. Oh, that's quite long. 59-minute flight. It took me a while to even get off from the ground. So. If it was a 737, I would have been out by in like 7 minutes max. I'm really good at setting that one up. This one I like to go by the books right now. Then you kind of realize that, oh, you can skip this, you can skip that, you can do this in parallel, you can do that in parallel. And then come out quicker. Let's see what kind of descent path it calculates today. Yesterday when I had the cost index set to, so I started with a cost index of 7, but then while I was cruising, because I wanted a higher Mach number, I changed the cost index to 55 if I remember it correctly, and that put me to 0.78 or 0.79 Mach, which was the fastest I could go. But then it also increased my cruise distance and it reduced my descent distance, because I think how it works is it wants to calculate the least fuel used. So the longer I stay in cruise, the better it is for fuel usage. And then it will see whether I can meet that descent path, the calculated descent path, by just idling the throttle throughout, which is what an ideal flight would look like. An ideal as in something that would never happen, but that is what an ideal flight should look like, where you climb as fast as possible, you stay in the cruise for as long as possible, and you have the least descent distance, ground distance, so that you can simply idle the engine and kind of descend and land. Obviously you'll have to use some throttle after a point, but I'm talking like absolute ideal flow. Yeah, it's fun to mess with all of this and actually see things changing. Looking at this number, have I entered the ground weight correctly? Giving me a minor heart attack now. Oh yeah, good. I thought I read 10 less. You know what? We'll have to turn on the lights. Getting really dark. Lights can come on. Looks so good. It does look a little bit rubbery at night because this texture, you see this texture? I feel like it's a bit overdone. Overdone in terms of roughness or normal map or whatever you talk about. In the daytime it looks great. That's what me and Rahul were talking about today. Then at night time, when the light is hitting it at an angle, it looks a little bit rubbery. It looks good. But I'm sure real world pilots would know better than me. This light can come on, integrated. Which one is this? Remote. Oh, this is the overhead panel, right? No. What does it say? Main panel and pedestal. Okay. Oh, okay. Got it. This is floodlight for the pedestal. Look at me trying to figure out what light does what. This is to operate 2, right? Yeah, that's the panel light. one more here. Oh, there you go. That's a floodlight for the PFD ND. That dimmer. Where is this guy? There you go. Look at me trying to figure out light. Overhead integrated lights. There's the floodlight for overhead. My friend Rahul is going to chuckle when he watches. There you go. I just turned on the master dome light. That's fine. Yeah, it's going to be dark. You know what? What if I magically change time? I really don't want to land at night, man. I really want to change the time. Should I do that? I don't know if it will mess with the airplane though. It shouldn't, right? Because the weather stays the same. All I'm doing is changing the time, offsetting the time. Let's wait for it to hit the cruise point and then we'll do that. Long way to go into hit cruise. Not long. 35 nautical miles. You know what? Let me change the time. Let me do it by only a little bit. 4, 3, 2. Okay, we are at 5 PM now. And it didn't do anything to the aircraft, so that's great. Let me slowly go to something like 330 or something. RX 079. Sorry if I didn't see your message in time. I don't know if the live chat updates on my phone. I have the stream open on my phone. It's been 59 minutes and it took me 30 minutes to get out of there. Nice. Okay, I'm going to go to 330. So if I go to 330, we'll probably reach in another half an hour or 40 minutes. I think 345 is fine. There you go. Okay, we are in daytime now. I'll turn off this dome light at least. After we hit the cruise point, we'll start prepping for our landing. We can do it right now actually. Want to see wing views? Let's go to wing views. Camera. cold out there, right? So wait, where did the wing views go? Or is it an external? No. Should be here, right? Ooh, I don't know where the wing views went. Pilot, instrument, quick view 1. What is it? Internal. We have figured all this out before. Teaming. It's okay. What is this new ambient mode? Almost at the cruising altitude now. The alt is still armed, climb is green, we're still climbing, but now it has slowed down. For anyone who doesn't know, this blue arrow shows where we are going to hit our cruising altitude. And the white one, which is here, shows where you're going to start descending according to the programmed flight plan. Turn on constraints. Okay, you know what? Instead of getting bored, let's just start prepping for our arrival. Let's go to pilot brief. We know what arrival we are flying, which is going from JFK to Robook 3 arrival. I think this is the Robook 3 and then ILS 27. So first of all, let's fill in the Boston weather, current weather, 3043 on the altimeter. Cruise, descend, there you go, 3043, so we'll fill that in. Temperature is 2 degrees in Boston, we'll fill that in. Winds, we have 330 at 5 knots, a little bit of a shift from what we saw on Volanta. I think on Volanta it was 310 at 9 knots or something like that. 330 at 5 knots. By the way, we'll verify all this once we are closer, but I can still go ahead and fill it in. We'll fill in the minimums in a few when we start looking at the charts, but everything else here looks fine. Our approach speed is going to be 134 knots. We'll be landing at 134 based on its calculations. Now let's go ahead and check our charts. Not pilot brief. Navigraph. There you go. Navigraph, Boston, arrival. And we are going to do the Robook 3, but the okay, so there's different arrivals for different runways. We'll choose the 27 Robook 3 arrival. What is this one? Let's make it a favorite so that it shows up in start right away. Don't have to dig through it. Okay, we have seen all of these. So we are going to start from JFK, News, Newies, whatever you call it, and then FEX is where we need to be at 230, between 210 and 230 at Ruiz, above 17,000 at Avalon, above 16,000 at Banky, between 12 and 19,000 at Roebuck, which obviously will pass if Frankie is good. And then are we taking this path or this one? Let me verify. Go to flight plan. New is Roebuck. There we go. Roebuck. After Roebuck, it goes to Pro V. Which makes sense. Jodi, that is fine. After Jodi, it is Gran. So okay, so this path. We'll follow this path, go around, and then land here. I think. Let me zoom in. I can't see this. PT rig is our final waypoint of the star. Well, not PT rig, it's tally, where we'll have to be at 210 knots and at 5,000 feet. So I think this departure is simple as long as we meet all the altitude constraints, which I think we will if we start descending at the right time, which we will. Let's go ahead and check our ILS approach chart. We're going to do ILS 27. Start this one as well. 27 frequency is 111.3 first of all, so let's verify that that is good. 111.3 and a course of 272. We'll put in 272 here. I'll take it. I need an F before that. What? F. Okay. Why did it not hear this and try again? F272. I don't know how to input the slope on it. Let's just keep it as it is, whatever it has tuned. I think 271, 272, it should make a difference. Not a big one at least. Airport elevation is 19 feet, and if we are doing straight in ILS approach, our minimums are going to be 443 feet. So by 443 feet we should have the runway in sight. If not, we will abort the landing. And by the way, DA means decision altitude. So if you're trying to put the barometric minimums, then you put in 460. If you're trying to put the radio minimums, which is your actual altitude from the ground, then you put in 443, which makes sense, right? Because your decision altitude is higher than the actual radio altitude that the runway is at. Or radio decision minimums, basically. Because our airport elevation is 19 feet. PDZ is 17. So that's 460 minus 443. That's 17. Yeah, usually if you subtract your decision altitude with the decision height, as in the radio height, you'll get the airport elevation. Same thing here, right? See, 17. So if you're doing the repeat, if you start from repeat, where is that? Yeah, there you go, repeat. If you do the -3 degree slope, whatever, from repeat, you have higher minimums, obviously, because you're not following the ILS. But even then, 1700 minus 1683 is 17 feet. The difference is your airport altitude. Okay. What was I even doing? Oh, I was checking, yeah. 6,000. We will be at 6,000 here. Let's check. Wait, what? Is it already? Not at the descent. Oh, crap. We are already at the... See? Always forget, man. Always forget. Now we'll have to descend really fast. Let's see where we are intercepting the ILS, and then the 17. I think we can put in 3000. We'll be intercepting at IV, but I'm just going to put in 3000. What a mess, man. How did the descent come in so fast? I mean, it's fine. It says we need more drag, but I'm going to hold off for now. Oh, there's an aircraft right below us. Hopefully. Let's just give it more drag. So when you're in cruise, you can only open ground spoilers to max to the half position. You cannot go full because it's too fast for those control surfaces to survive. If you go full, a lot of drag, it will probably break off or something. I see a couple of aircrafts on TCAS, but I'm going to have to ignore it. Throttle is idle. I have given it as much drag as possible. We need to be at flight level 230. Will we hit that? I think we will, because we are about to intercept our actual descent path at this blue arrow here. I think we are good. Company message. Let's check what that is about. Okay, we are hitting the green dot. So good, even if we started the descent late, we still made it on track, so we are fine. Nothing to panic about. And we did not even have to descend that fast. It was only what, 4000 feet per minute? Quite normal. It would have been a slow descent if we did it by the, according to the VNAV. Let's try to set up early. Again, this is only my second flight, so I'm going to try to set up early so that we are all good on the approach. Don't want to mess around while we have to fly the aircraft. Let's give it a little more drag. Want to make sure it stays on the green dot. It wasn't able to because the speed was increasing, so it was trying to descend the aircraft slower, which I think now it should be good. I don't know if I should stop injecting traffic while landing, because what if I'm trying to land and someone just the 0.6 miles, we just hit the altitude restriction for FEX. We are good. We are 23,000. First restriction is met. I'll turn off the speed brakes now for sure because we don't need them. Now we are definitely on path. We are also well within the speed speed limit. Back on track, no worries. If I mess up this landing, I'm going to... What can I do? Just leave it. Where are we turning? I just want to make sure. Go down. Ruiz or Tanky. And okay. Loner, yeah. So 3000 is fine because Loner is exactly where we're intercepting the ILS. Do you see this line here is our landing line, the ILS 27 line, and we are coming in from a whatever 30 degree, I guess 30 or 45 degree angle to that line and intercepting that line at Loner where the restriction is 3000. So that's why I've put in 3000 here, so that by the time we reach there we will be at 3000 and then we'll just arm the approach, line up, land. Okay, now we are below the glide path. It's not a problem. But we have to be... Double check. At Ruiz we had to be between 30 and 210, so I think it will still meet that. Be fine. This went way longer than I had thought. I was planning to sleep at 12:30. Then I need to wake up at 7. But it's already 12:30 and it will probably be another 15-20 minutes to land. That's okay. We can afford being a little bit of a zombie tomorrow. Usually when I feel lazy, I just go and I don't do work from home when I'm lazy. I just go to the office and work from there. It's just way more efficient. When I'm not lazy, that's when I can stay home and work. Knots of tailwind. See how it's descending really slow now because it knows that we need to be above 21,000 and it's already at 21,600. So that is why it is descending really slow, so that it can meet that restriction and then it will start descending lower than 21,000 up to 17. I feel like the VNAV logic can be a lot better. I mean, I don't know if it's realistic or not. I'm not a real world Airbus pilot. But just thinking about what it did right now, it could have kept us, well, I guess it also depends on the cost index, but it could have still kept us at a lower descent rate so that it hits Ruiz exactly in that altitude range, so that it doesn't have to provide thrust now to keep the aircraft leveled. Because if you see the N1, we are doing like 67% N1, which is a lot of fuel. What is our fuel flow right now? Check real quick. I don't even know where to check it here. Fuel. Yes. There you go. Our fuel flow is 64, 65, 64. About somewhere around 60 to 65 pounds per minute. Imagine. This thing is consuming 60 pounds per minute of fuel. Crazy about it. But then you also have to think about how many passengers it's carrying. So what if those same 150 passengers would have to drive from DCA to Boston? Would they consume more than 60 pounds? I'm not sure. No, right? I should have checked that cruise, what it consumes. You know what, let's be on this. Let's keep a watch on this fuel flow. It's really interesting to see all this and how it compares, let's say, to drive. I mean, obviously we have the block fuel, so we can calculate that. That'll be a fun calculation to do on stream someday. This is a long and slow arrival, by the way. Look at all these restrictions. Ooh, okay. Bounced us around a little bit. I think the weather just updated and it threw the aircraft off. Passenger. I almost thought that my sim crashed because I stopped hearing anything for a minute, for a few seconds. My heart stopped. Holy shit, look at it now. It went to 75 pounds per minute. A lot. I don't know why they don't optimize these star arrivals, these stars in the standard terminal arrivals to be a little more efficient. Imagine having to go through all of long arrival for landing. I mean, I'm sure usually ATC would just clear people, add direct to and clear people directly on the runway. I don't know. This is really long and slow. I remember flying the same flight with Rahul with the 737. Even I said the same thing back then. Really slow. Okay, we are at 18,000 feet. I can switch from standard to local QNH, and let's verify our local QNH again, whether it's changed or not. Our local QNH is still 3043. 3043. So we are good. Okay. This one's supposed to go to 3043 too, but like not 3043, but whatever in hectopascal. So that's 1030. Let's just change it. 1030. That's good. This one is set as well. Any other altimeters here? No. Oh, this is the alternate. Okay. Oh, yeah. No, it's probably our missed approach where you go from Boston to here and then back into the 27. Because it's manual, I think it shows blue line. Not sure. Okay, we are meeting all the constraints still on the green dot. On the low end of the VNAV speed range, which is fine. 32 lbs per minute now. Yeah, because we are at 45% M1. So at 18,000, I think we should start turning the lights on and all that, right? So the ones that add drag are these. Wait for 10,000. I'll probably stream again tomorrow. And try to fly at a more eventful place. Well, there are clouds here. And exactly like we had planned, it's going to be a sunset landing. Nice. And sunset landing. Missed anything on visibility is also pretty good, so we should be able to see the runway from quite far. Michael Desero says A320. Guess you didn't get the memo requiring all sim YouTubers to stream A310 FDs. Yeah, man. I haven't even loaded that aircraft in yet. I know my friend flew it. I honestly don't. I know it's the trend right now, and if I would have flown the A310, I would have probably, even if I flew it wrong, I would have probably gotten a lot more views. But I don't know if you've been around, but I honestly don't care. I've been flying whatever and uploading whatever. I only do these, I think, so I remember getting a copy of this thing, Leonardo's MD-80. That was when I might have uploaded that video only for the views, but honestly, yeah, everything else has been just, if I like to fly something, I'm going to upload it. Otherwise it's whatever. If you see the old videos on my channel, the PA-28, Aero 3, the whole series that I had done, no one asked for it, but I was just having fun. Okay, let's focus on the landing here. Not get too distracted. We are at 11,000, still fine. But yeah, Michael, I hope you still like the stream. I know it's not A310. I'd be on like 5,000 subscribers if I jumped on every freaking release and uploaded every video on time. There's so many things happening. There's so many add-ons releasing, and if you jump on those, you're going to get views no matter how bad the video is. And remember, the community is huge now with msfs coming in. There's a lot more people that have gotten access to flight simming. A lot more new flight simmers coming in. So even if the video is not accurate, I made a lot of mistakes on that MD80 video that real MD80 pilots corrected, and I have a pinned comment on there. But still, like, people will watch it, right? Because it was a pre-release video, all the hype of the first detailed add-on for msfs and all that. And Michael says all good. A310 is unflyable now with the performance hit for most people. Yeah, I heard about that. It hit me for 50% FPS compared to MD80 and 7. Oh my god. So I'm getting about 70 FPS on PMDG 737. So I'll probably end up with what 35 or something. That's unflyable. You're gonna say 35 is good, but once you've flown 60 FPS, you cannot go below that. Is the A310 actually detailed? They were saying that it's going to be study level, right? But I don't know if it's actually that detailed. I have not even watched streams of that type. If we are at 10,000, is going to prep early. Taxi lights on here. I'm going to turn on the dome lights because it's getting a little dark. We're going to go low. Let's do our landing performance calculations. Departure, arrival performance. Michael says yes, it's study level, systems are A level. Oh, nice, okay. So it was INI builds, right? So I guess they did it right. Runway is going to be 27. Try. Let's refresh METAR and apply it here. Low brakes, landing weight. What is going to be our landing weight? 132. Let's just enter 132. There. Okay, low brakes. Fine. Idle, no reverse. Max reverse. We'll be doing max reverse. Let's do medium brakes. Why is it taking so? Autothrottle is on. Flaps will be full. We'll do a flaps 3 landing actually. Manual land, yes. We're doing a manual land. That is fine. Okay. Yeah, let's see where we are at. We are on the last turn. Well, a couple of more turns left. Let's go through the checklist. Get a little bit. Approach ECAM status good. Approach type and runway we have selected. Minima is done. Approach phase is not active yet. We will activate it. Let's activate it right now before we hit confirm approach phase so that we go to the green dot speed. I know it's a little bit early, but I want to prep earlier than ideally we should have switched the approach phase on here somewhere because it's actually 250 knots constraint here too. It's fine, we'll just Baro ref is set auto brakes. Auto brakes are set to low. Missed approach altitude will be set later. You can okay. All we need to do now is gear down. Have our brakes. Michael says SimBrief integration through ACARS works great. Oh, nice. So there's one more aircraft now where there's seamless SimBrief integration. I'll have to check how the EFB is and all that on the A310. My friend flew it, Rahul. He hasn't told me much about it. Belt signs on and good. I love the SimBrief integration even on the Phoenix. It's better than PMDG. Until I don't know if PMDG will come up with EFB and a better integration, but at least for now, that's what I feel. Yeah, I made the slower arrival even slower now by activating approach phase early, so sorry about that. But it's fine. I want to do this right. This is where we should have activated the approach. We'll keep the auto throttle on until the end. Problem with that. By the way, until the longest time I did not know that you should actually deactivate or disconnect autopilot through this red button. Michael says until INI builds optimizes the performance, I'm sticking with MD80 and 737 for airliner kicks. DC3 and DC6 for old school. Yeah. I need to install the MD80 again. I would like to fly it on Watson. It's a really nice aircraft. And obviously Leonardo has done a great job in the way that thing flies. You can actually feel the weight. Unlike PMDG, sometimes you cannot. At least on the ground you cannot. I've never flown the DC3 and DC6 though. For old school cravings, I remember there was this another one that came out. I forgot which one. I'd done a video on how to start the engine for that one because no one was able to start the engine on that one. I literally forgot the name of that. If 5000 constraint here and then we'll go to 3000. Obviously we are not meeting the speed constraints, but that is fine. We'll assume that someone told us to slow down. Yes, Boeing 247. Thank you, Michael. Yeah, that's a good one. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to fly that one. Yeah. When that one released, all the forums were full with like bug reports on, hey, I cannot start the engine on this one. I found it was easy. People were just not following the right process. Go to the charts. Go into loaner and then I think at this point we can arm the approach mode at 3. Nice sunset landing. Love it. I don't know what told me to change the time to 3:45, but it worked out really well. Look, we can already see the runway on the left. Michael, where are you from, by the way? If you're still watching. Oh, you're from Seattle, okay. I'm from India basically, but I live in Columbus, Indiana. Michael says, I'm disappointed Wing 42 hasn't had any updates since release. Yeah, I didn't see any emails about the update. I don't know, maybe they did not receive enough love on that aircraft to continue supporting that project, I guess. Or it might have just been a hobby project or something, you know. That's what happens on most of these. It's really hard to survive as a company, as a company in the flight sim market, honestly. Tough. I used to do some modeling and all that. I think on my old channel you'll see some modeling videos. I worked on a couple of airports for attitude simulation on X-Plane 10, if I remember correctly. Yeah, X-Plane 10. But none of my work actually got to release, because then I found an actual full-time job and I had to leave that team because there was no time to do any of that work. Okay, so we have a localizer glide slope. We are still below the glide slope. It should be kicking in soon. Let's go to 10 miles. I think I'll go flaps 1 and 2 right here, and then we'll go flaps 3 only after putting the gear down and arming the spoilers. How far are we, by the way? Oh, we never put in the radio altitude on this. It's 443. Okay. Yeah, I talked about a bunch of shit, but I forgot to put. Okay.
2,500.
6 miles. 6 miles from. Glide slope is captured. Let's go ahead and pull the gear down. And as soon as we pull the gear down, let's also arm the spoilers. Down, spoilers armed. Up here. No smoking.
2,000.
We have 17 knots of crosswind, so this is going to be a task. Gears are fully down, all 3 greens. We had set the auto brakes to medium, so I'll set that to medium. Everything else is good on the landing checklist. Flaps need to be full, that I know. Oh, if I mess this landing up, I'm going to be disappointed. This is only my second landing on Phoenix, so don't expect a lot. We'll also check the landing rate. By the way, I don't have the landing. I don't think I have the landing rate monitor on the stream, but we'll go to Volanta and check landing rate monitor. Usually it's pretty accurate. You can. Planning to fly down from 1,000 feet radio. At 11:50. Define here if everything is good. I think so. Had all the lights and everything set.
1,000.
Yeah, good. Okay, 1,000. All out. Let's enable the autopilot and get this. Have to make much corrections here. Okay, I'll stop blabbering. Focus on landing. Alright. A little bit
100
higher.
above. 500.
Where the heck are the
Minimum.
pappy lights, bro?
400.
Oh, pappy lights.
300.
Whatever, I guess. Literally no pappy legs.
200. 100.
10 knots crosswind, and we got a
50,
little bit of a
40,
stutter at the
30,
end.
20. Retard. Retard.
It was a very bad landing. Knots, thrusters on. Simple takeoffs is here. Hey man, what's up? I just hopped off your stream and started streaming. I saw you were flying too. You came at the right time. The most embarrassing time ever. Let's see if my tiller is working. It is. Nice. I'll get out of the runway and then we'll check the landing rate. My guess is it was probably minus 350 or 400, something like that. Minus 350 or 400. We are not on VAT sim, by the way, so I'm just freely taxing. Simple takeoff says lol, smashers are a part of sim life. Yes, especially when you're flying it for the second time. Yesterday my landing was actually really good. I did a minus 127 the first time I flew. Oh, I'm driving this like an F1 car. First time I flew this aircraft and did really well. Minus 127. Today I guess it's all the streaming anxiety and all that, you know. You know what? I'll park here. Doesn't matter, we are offline. And we'll just check the landing rate. Don't want to keep you guys waiting and watching my Formula 1 driving. Okay. Moment of truth. Let's see where we touch down first. Okay, exactly on the threshold. So I'll give myself 100 out of 100 for touching down on the threshold. But that's probably why it was a smasher too, because I touched down too early. Okay, let's see. Minus 491. Oh no, man. That was definitely a hard one. A hard landing. 1.13 G minus 491. I think that crosswind, that little bit of 10 knots of crosswind threw me off a little bit at the end, because I've never felt how this airplane flies in crosswind. But anyways, minus 491. Let me show you guys what I did yesterday. I think it was this one. IDP. No, wasn't this one. Where did it just disappear on me? Did. Newest. No okay. There is no evidence that I did a minus 127 on this plane. Fuck my life. This? Oh, there you go. This might be it. But this is from June. God. No evidence at all. one will be like, didn't see, didn't happen. All right, guys. That is it for today's stream. You guys had fun. Thanks, Michael and Simple Takeoff, for coming in and keeping it active here. Let me pan around. Let's admire the FSLTL traffic for a bit. Look at that. Look at that model. Does that look like that? That looks like a freeware add-on to me. Does not look like AI traffic to me. It's so good. Look at that. Crazy. Get that DC. Yeah, DC3 by PMDG, Michael. There's some other add-on that I'm not aware about. I think you mean PMDG DC3. Have a good night, man. Oh, okay. Hey, good night, Simple Takeoff. Good seeing you here, man. Oh, the 40th anniversary freebie. Okay. Yeah. I'll try that one. I'll probably stream that one someday. Alright guys, I will see you tomorrow, mostly same time. I think it might start, I'll probably start streaming at 10 PM or 11 PM, depends when I get back home, because I have a class tomorrow after work. I'll probably start streaming at 10:30, and we'll see if Rahul can join us. If not, I'll fly somewhere in the US where there's some weather going on. We need to do more landings with the Phoenix. I gotten really good with PMDG, but we need to do more landings with the Phoenix. Alright, anyways, like the stream, share the video if you want with your friends, and I'll see you tomorrow.